Hello students, welcome back to the channel. And from this video, we will be starting our deep learning series. This is our day one. Okay. So in this, we will be covering. If we're talking about the course, in this complete course, we will be covering almost every single detail of deep learning and also do some of the projects. Now let's start with the first session. So in this, we will be learning about basics. What is deep learning? Okay, its advantages and its disadvantages. Okay, let's have a look. Okay. Firstly, before deep learning, we have covered the machine learning. So, what is machine learning? In machine learning, what we did, we give a lot of data to machine. We apply some of algorithm that learns the data, that finds patterns from the data, right? And then it will help us to make some predictions. We have learned this in machine learning. So, this is deep learning. What it is? It is a set of machine learning. It is subset of machine learning and AI that uses artificial neural network with multiple layers to learn patterns, features, and the relationship from the large amount of data automatically. What will happen? What we here are using is we are using the artificial neural network. The most important thing is we are using artificial neural network. What these are? These are the structures that having multiple layers. Okay. So what we are using? We are using artificial neural network. What we have this happens. We have the multiple layers. What is the purpose of these layers? These layers help us to learn pattern, feature, and finding the relationship between the features. So it's it is a subset of machine learning and AI that uses what it is using artificial neural network with multiple layers to learn the features, patterns, and relationships from the large amount of data automatically. Okay. So here what it is saying automatically. So as we put a lot of layers, so data is automatically being learned uh, by the artificial neural network, right? So it is replica of human brain. So this is basically a replica of human brain. Like human has cells, nerves. Similarly, it has nodes and the layers. Okay. Why we can use it? So for machine learning, what we have, we can analyze that data. We can analyze that textual data. Okay. But we want some complex models. I want to work on some things. I want to work on images. Then machine learning might fail, and therefore we need some complex data frame that can understand images, text, and audios, videos very accurately, right? Therefore, we get this neural network. Okay. So, what it is till now, what we have said is it is basically it uses artificial neural network that has multiple layers. Purpose of layer is to learn more and more features and finding the relationship between features. Yes. Then it is replica of human brain. Then we need this because if we have the complex data, if we have images, if we have videos, text, and music, or even in text, we have a lot of data that our machine learning model might fail to predict. We have a deep learning model that is used for any kind of complex data. Hmm. It will give us very accurate answer. Very accurate prediction is used if we use the deep learning model. Now, let's see the picture of this. So we can see here we have nodes and these are some layers and the other layer. If we're talking about a very journal structure, what it has an input layer, it has an output layer. And in between input layer and output layer, what we have, there are hidden layers. Every kind of processing, every kind of passive learning or making relationships, done in one. Here is input if I put X and the X value if I put Y value. And here, this neural network will learn. What it learns? It learns the pattern. It learns the relationship, right? And then finally, it is able to make some conclusion. And therefore, we have the three layers. First is input layer, second is hidden layer, and then we have the output layer. Okay. Then let's do a very important part. How we have machine learning, right? We have a lot of techniques, we have a lot of algorithms. Why we need a deep learning model, right? Although we come to know if we have a complex data, machine learning models might fail, right? Therefore, we need something new, which is called deep learning that can handle our complex data very well. Okay. Now we will discuss some more features, some more differences between machine learning and the deep learning. So in machine learning, what will we do? Machine learning is mostly related to mathematical algorithms. So here we use statistical algorithms to learn pattern from data. But in this learning, what we are using? We are using the artificial neural network that have run out now. And if you have a very small data, not very small, if you have the small to medium size, it's what will be used? We will be using our machine learning. Whereas if we have a large data set, we have the large amount of data or the complex data, but I will use deep learning. Then, if I have very simpler kind of task, if I just want to make predictions, if I want to identify if it's cat or dog, then I can go for machine learning. But if I wanted some complex task or I want some complex results, like if I want my machine, my model, completely analyze the image, right? Completely analyze. If I say, if I particularly talk about like this size is of dog or cat, okay, then a deep learning model is very good for it. Because here because machine learning models are small, therefore their fast training is also fast. Here we have huge number of data, therefore it takes a lot of time to train. Similarly, it is very obviously we come to know it is less complex. We have a lot of data, we have a lot of training time, therefore it is complex. If we want to run the machine learning model, it is very good and it will learn directly on quickly. But if we are working on with high models, high deep learning models, it is better that we have a GPU, right? So here we have the spam detection, classification model, regression model, all comes under the machine learning. Whereas deep learning, we have the image recognition part, NLP part, and so more. All these come under the deep learning, right? Now, talking about the deep learning advantages and what are its disadvantages. Okay, so every term, everything has some of advantage and disadvantage, right? So let's see advantage first. Because we have a lot of data, firstly, we know if we have good amount of data, definitely we will get the very good result, right? In deep learning, we are working on very huge amount of data. Definitely, we will be getting the high accuracy. We will be getting a very good result, right? Second is it automatically uh, extract the features. We just have to put our data into the frame. We can see we have the input layer. I just put my data into the frame. Then in hidden layer, it will automatically find which feature needed much weight and which feature needed less weight. It automatically automatically identifies the importance of feature, right? Then if talking about its skeleton, it is very good model, right? Yes. So all over the performance of deep learning model is very good, very accurate, but there are some of the disadvantages. Firstly, we require a huge amount of data, right? Second is if we have huge amount of data, we need something that can manage, that can handle that amount of data. Therefore, there is high computational cost, right? Then we can say there is risk of overfitting. This is very common problem and this is how it is possible. If we have very less number of data and I put into the deep learning model, what will happen? It will memorize every single thing. Okay, because these neural networks are so powerful, they are very good at finding the patterns. It will memorize everything. Okay, And there is one more problem, that is lack of interpretability, which is we call it as a black box. Here, what is happening in either layer, we don't. What is happening in this model, we don't. Okay, that is some of the disadvantages of the disadvantages of the deep learning model. Okay, so what we have covered, what is deep learning? It is a subset of AI. We have seen what we are using. We are using ANN, that is called artificial neural network. That is replica of our brain, right? That has a lot of layers. The purpose of layer is to extract features. Then we see the difference between machine learning and the deep learning. In machine learning, if we have lesser number of data, if we have less models, if we want only simple basic answers, just prediction, if you want to make only predictions, I can go for the machine learning part. If I want to make a very good predictions, I want accurate results, I want if I have a lot of data, I have very good computational approach, I can handle that. Okay. So I will go for the deep learning, right? And then we have covered the advantages and the disadvantages of the deep learning. See you in next video.